Welcome, Pisces. Your in-depth weekly astrology overview and zodiac forecast for week commencing the 29th of June for the Ascendant, the Sun, or the Moon. Going to share the big themes of the week ahead first. On screen is your event chart. I'll unpack that. Always provides an important backdrop. I'll then go through each of the influences frame by frame to give you a clear picture of what's upcoming in terms of energy, work, relationships, and finances. I'm astrologer Patrick Arundel. A very warm welcome. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, please do so now to help it to continue to thrive. But please also click or tap the bell notification symbol. Your two ruling planets of Jupiter and Neptune are right at the heart of proceedings this week, and in a very influential way. Because as last week came to a close, with Mars making its way into the quick-witted sign of Gemini and also linking with the electric vibe of Uranus, you could feel a bit restless as you come into this week. But what the full moon on Monday does is links back to Neptune in the part of your situation to do with your value, your worth, and perhaps even your financial viewpoint. But we also have on Monday Mercury, the communicator, going into a retrograde through to the 23rd. And like the sun, it's in the very charismatic fifth house, which can be about having fun and being playful. The moon on the other side of the heavens, in the part of your chart to do with your connections to others, your long-term plan, your higher values, maybe even your friendships. So essentially, the sun, Mercury and Jupiter at the start of this week, the very start of this week, are really asking you to showcase all the best of yourself. It's just that Neptune, your modern aquatic ruler, could see you question yourself of whether there is a point or a value to going for whatever it is that could be very exciting. And therefore, Jupiter, your other ruler, moving on Tuesday into the sign of Leo. It hasn't been there since 2015. It roars in there because Jupiter also rules the sign of Sagittarius, which is a fire sign like Leo, mutual receptivity, and that can be excellent for your physical vitality. But you may find with Jupiter moving into that area, which Jupiter likes space, doesn't it, through its rulership of Sagittarius. In the sixth house, that may be physical space, perhaps in the domestic sphere. And with Mars and Uranus in your home fourth house, it wouldn't really be a surprise as we go into the week if you were in the mood to move all the furniture around. So let's take a look at this in detail. So there's the moon right at the top of the week at midnight on Monday, the 29th, just in the sign of Sagittarius. It then moves into your 11th house and into that opposition with the sun. So full moons are when the sun and the moon are competing. They're not integrated like a new moon, and it can create a lot of tension. But the fifth house can be about innate pleasure. The 11th house may be about how you connect to others. But the second house position of Neptune suggests if you're a bit confused about your love or social life or about those connections to others, it could show up. And because of Mars and Uranus together in a very personal part of your scope around your feelings, Mars in the fourth house can be quite reactive. Uranus can need that physical space, a bit like Jupiter. So you may actually want to check out a little bit. And particularly with Mercury in retrograde for Monday, maybe some of the things you had planned, particularly in the early part of this week, you may be considering not doing. And there could be uh, lots of changes to all sorts of people's schedules through the first 3 weeks of July. What you also have as we come into this month is Mars coming into contact with the north and south nodes in a T square, which is really significant because they're inversing back into Aquarius and Leo by the end of July. So I think this is a kind of provocative thing. The north node has been encouraging you over the last 18 months to really believe in yourself when it comes to your unique talents, creativity, and artistry, and your personal identity. But suddenly, this particular set of influences at the start of the week could ask you some questions. So how do you work through it? Well, I think with Jupiter moving into the sixth house, if you want to reform something, you want to go for a new job, believe you can pull it off. Also, if you'd like to work from home, I think that could work really well for you. If you have got a talent that you can convert into something that can bring extra revenue in, then Venus's link to Saturn is very positive at the start of this week. Chiron, however, is in the third house, which suggests how you think is going to be important to your progress, but also squares with Jupiter. So it's important to not deflect from maybe some negative thinking by using Jupiter's apparent optimism and positivity to deflect from perhaps how you're thinking things down or self-limiting in your approach to your outlook. Someone has written in via Facebook, I'm sure they're watching this, to say that I'm very negative about Pisces people. So let's just crunch the numbers. Pluto in the 12th house, it only happens extremely rarely. It hasn't, of course, happened in our lifetime. Pluto in the 12th house, you can search for it if you want. That is not easy. We've got Saturn in the second house. When Saturn's in the second house, which happens every 28 and a half years, that's going to have an impact. It's something you really got to be aware of. So some of these things are the realities. I could tell you all the good things and not tell you the real things, and then I wouldn't be the astrologer that I hope I am, which is truthful, decent, and not pumping people's optimism up to then be disappointed because it doesn't work out. So if anyone watched the Jupiter No More Blocks video, which got a phenomenal amount of views, of people saying, we were told it was all going to be brilliant and it wasn't, and you're the first person that told us it wasn't. So sorry, folks, I just have to be me. So to summarize, I'm going to go through those four areas of energy, work, relationships, and finances next. Just before I do, you can order your personal horoscopes from me based on your unique birth data and get three for the price of one. I've slashed the price. That's more good news for you. Please see below for more. If you've yet to watch your July monthly forecast or your Jupiter into Leo forecast, 13 months forecast, please see on the screen. You get an eye. If you click on that, it'll take you through to those videos. If you'd like to work with me one-to-one, please see my testimonials below. And also, if you've yet to sign up for my free daily written horoscope fired to your device each morning, you can do that too. So let's summarize those four areas. So as far as energy is concerned, I think Jupiter moving into the sixth house can be extremely good. And that's going to be there for 13 months. But Jupiter makes us feel more dynamic. So we could think that we feel better, but Jupiter in a way pushes us to use the knowledge that it's great at gaining to then actually do things. And Jupiter can lack a bit of grit. So we need to push ourselves. But if you're up for engaging and getting fitter, being a bit more virtuous and getting more knowledge on food and exercise, rest, diet, and all the rest of it, that can definitely help. As far as the energetic side of Neptune in a T-square with the full moon, I think that that can be a bit confusing. So if there is a friend that you're disappointed in, a romantic situation where you feel someone's not being truthful, that will drain your energy, unfortunately. Mercury in the retrograde, however, in the fifth house, suggests that keep working through whatever it is that may be showing up around a love situation that you're a bit unsure of, because it could clarify by the time you get to the new moon of the 14th of July, which, despite Mercury still being retrograde, has a lot of positivity. So when it comes to finances, well, yes, Saturn in the second house, but it's in that very stable link with the planet of money. The harder you work, the better things will be. Professionally, however, as I've been saying recently, it's all about digging down deep into your past resources. You are a sign who is the collective of all the other previous 11 zodiac signs. So you have great talents in lots of different ways, but they may need to be adapted and used in a fresh and different way, simply because the world we live in is changing at pace. And this one astrologer can't do anything to help you other than keep encouraging you the best I can. Have a great week. All the best. Take care and see you again soon.